Trying to set this up still. So. Is that gonna work? I think so. All right. Should do it. All right, we're live on this. I don't even know what night. Thursday night, I think. The 19th, I know that. Thursday, October 19th, 2023. And we just finished the series of 194 contradictions in the New Testament. And we're going to kind of go over that a little bit and talk about some other stuff. So, that's the plan stand for tonight. So, tomorrow is Friday. It'll be an open chat tomorrow night with, there you go. You can look at him. Tomorrow will be an open chat with, actually, I was going to go over something. Oh, I got the little kitten outside. One of the kittens. The wild ones. You know, I got all dressed up, warm to go out and feed them. I totally forgot. Sitting here with my boots and my jacket on. The kittens are coming up by the door. They must be hungry. Kind of feel bad I came on here without feeding them. But anyway. Yeah, I got all dressed up to do that and I forgot. But anyway, so I'll have to feed them when I get done here. So anyway, I hope y'all had a wonderful Thursday. It was pretty nice weather here. We had a pretty nice sunny day. Nice fall day. Me and the dogs went into town. Got them some, they like sweet potatoes. And got them a few sweet potatoes and for their dinner. To go with their dinner. And some cat food, and so that's about it. The usual bread, dog food, cat food. That's about it. Anyway, but that was a nice little ride into town for the doggies. They always like that. Fun for them. Anyway, so I should probably fix this because it's all twisted right now. So before I get started, I'm going to try to bend this back into shape because I have it on something that's not really legit. So anyway. All right. Let's see if my stream's up. We're going to grab my remote and mute. Yep, there we are. We are live. So, reviewing the contradictions in the Bible. As you can see, we just finished 9 episodes of 9 episodes. In other words, 9 hours of contradictions to go through 200 contradictions in the New Testament. And that's just the New Testament. We didn't even go into the Old Testament. You know, I almost want to, since nobody's here, these kittens are right outside my door, these wild cats. Let me grab them some food real quick. I'm already dressed with my shoes and stuff. Where did their food go? It's over here. Let's get them something to eat, shall we? Oh, wait. Take a minute. They'll be really happy. All right, 2 seconds here. Okay, obviously they took off as soon as I opened up the door. Well, hey, Anonymous here. Good to see you. Yeah, good to see you tonight. Love that you love kitties. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. I know you like your animals too. Yeah, I got a bunch of wild, like stray cats living, and one of them had babies. I think there's 3 or 4 of them. And now the babies are getting big, and they just came up to the door because I put out a little food last night, but they ate it right up. So they've been waiting all day, and I didn't put them out their food. So anyway, I opened the door and they took off, of course, because they're wild. But my cat is sitting out there trying to coax them to come back. If I can show you here. So my cat, they were just outside my door here. And so I put the food out there. And my cat's trying to show them that it's okay to eat stuff. They should be coming back. Hopefully they'll come back soon. I don't see them on cameras right now, so I don't know. They took off. They were scared. But they're kind of dependent on me. So how you been, Anonymous? How you been? Hope everything's been going good for you. So loving animals may be better than humans. Oh, you sold the farm? Awesome. I hope you made out good. I think loving animals might be sometimes more rewarding than loving humans. You're renting there now? Not bad? Oh, yeah. Well, that's good. I hope you're still around some animals and still doing things that you love. Not made out too bad, yeah. Yep. Well, good for you. I'm glad. I hope everything's working out good. It can be a transition when you move after you've been somewhere and sell and move and stuff. It'd be kind of a shock. Well, hey, Grace, how you doing tonight? Greens and shalom to you, too. Hope you enjoyed this beautiful Minnesota Thursday. Well, hey, Dee, good to see you. Welcome and shalom to you. Now, you guys, I was going to do something tonight. It's a single study, one night study. And I thought, I think I'm going to throw it out there and see if you guys even want to do it. Maybe we'll do it Saturday. Anyway, good to see everybody, and thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. But so I was going to ask you guys, you ladies and gentlemen. I have a study, and I was going to do it tonight, but I'm not going to do it tonight. We're just going to talk about the errors and the contradictions in what we just went over. But I do have a series called, let me see what it's called, because I bookmarked it. It's called X-rated pornographic contents in the Bible. And it talks about Bible stories and Bible verses that are just like they wouldn't even be able to go on TV if it was, So anyway, and I thought, well, maybe I'll see if it's okay if we go over that with you guys. It's all Bible verse stuff. Oh, here comes the kittens. Oh, yay. It's a puffy one, too. I'm going to show you how fat this little kitten is. Can't probably see him now. He's kind of off the camera now. Little puffy little thing. They're already getting their thick winter coat, which is good. I think what they do is they live in like one of my buildings. Well, I know they do. A few of my buildings have been cat occupied. There it is. It's so puffy. It's cute. That's probably about 3-4 months old, maybe. I think I saw him in May, maybe June. Anyway, they're cute. So yeah, I do have that study. I have actually a lot of like things I can do for one day. I also have it would Kathy be feeding. Yeah, I am feeding them. Yeah, they're cute. But I will admit, when I was doing the party and I was getting ready for a family, they're all, I had a lot going on with my getting my house ready and getting the party put together. And I did neglect them. I neglected them for several days. So there's like a bunch of days where I didn't put food out, over like a 5 or 6 day period. I missed a bunch of days, and so anyway, now they're coming right up to the house. They're like, we ain't waiting out in the yard. We're knock knock. Did you forget to feed us? Anyway, it's a cute little thing. I'll show you real quick if I can. Snagged up here. Oh, I think it went off the camera again, little turd. All right. By the time I got myself all untangled and unhooked off of here, he took off. He's cute though. He's a little puffy little thing. Anyway, over the winter though, I had like 5 or 6 cats. Red ones, black ones, striped ones. A white one, a red one, striped one, black, white, black. Anyway. So, yeah. Grace said, "Oh boy, that would be quite a subject, but most people read right past." Yeah. No, our Thanksgiving is in November, the end of November. I think it's the third Thursday in November. No, I think you guys just had your Thanksgiving, right? Yeah, no, ours is in November, the third Thursday in November, or the last Thursday. Can't remember. One of the Thursdays, third or fourth. Yeah. No, not yet. Because we all know that Americans need to stuff themselves like pigs. Because they just don't do it enough. Why is it different? I don't know. But you know what? That's not even the question. Why the different day? My question is, how come we grew up in school being told that Thanksgiving had to do with discovering America? Is that what you guys got told? What is the reason for for Canadians Thanksgiving? Is it because Christopher Columbus discovered America? Is it the same thing? Is that what you guys are celebrating, Christopher Columbus? Oh, you do? You really? So you're doing the Christopher Columbus thing too? Well, I don't know why it's different. Maybe they got here first, and then they moved up there. Like, no, that wouldn't be right. You should have had the first one. That no, wait. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know. Who knows which one's right? I don't know. I didn't know that. I was wondering why would okay, so you're doing the Christopher Columbus thing too. Oh, I didn't know that. That we told you have no culture. Really? Well, It's all stolen from the Native Americans. And our culture, I'm sure, was brought over by the, from England. No doubt. Even the Amish are like German. They got German groups and French Canadians. Yeah. I think our culture came from over there. But I don't know. I know they gave blankets to the Native Americans that were loaded with smallpox. And tricked them about the eclipse. Hence, multiculti. Yeah, I mean, but that's what America's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a little bit of everybody. So when people complain that there's different religions, like, hello, there's the door. All right, because it's supposed to be the land of the free or whatever. You're supposed to be able to worship whoever you want. So I know Christians get mad when there's when the people say something about coexist. Like, what is your choice? If you're not going to coexist, what are you going to do? Kill everybody again and start over? And what choice do you have? The whole point of America is to coexist. Everybody, no matter who you are, where you came from, what religion, what color, that's the whole point of America. But like, people get mad at immigrants and different religions. Like, okay, as long as it's your religion and your race, that's cool. But somebody else's, no, that was part of the deal. So I don't get it. I do not get it. So yeah, so I do have a page full of maybe we'll do that on Saturday. I'll do a short study Saturday and Sunday. And if Bible verses that are X-rated offend you, maybe people can sit that one out. So I'm going to give a warning. I think it's going to be Saturday. And let me see. Hold on a second. Just look this up. I think it's going to be Saturday. Here it is. There it is. X-rated pornographic contents in the Bible. And that's a fact. It is stuff that I can't even believe is in the Bible, but we have read it before, and it's not always fun to read it in a crowd. Oh man. Anyway, but hey, it's in the Bible, right? I mean, that's stuff. I don't think they really read it too much in church. Like Songs of Solomon. Yikes. Yeah, that dude had a one-track mind. And you know what? It's weird. We went over one night. Freemasons actually claim that they built Solomon's temple. And there's a Bible verse that says, beware the stonemasons and the carpenters. But particularly the stonemasons. Oh, interesting. Because the stonemasons are the ones that, they're claiming that they built Solomon's temple. And they will probably build the third temple. I am not kidding. And in order to do that, they got to knock down that mosque, like in iPet Goat 2. You know what I mean? Yeah, let me show. Let's see. Let's see if we can pull it up. A lot of people have done videos on iPet Goat too. They just took their website down, which is kind of weird. They used to have a website up. They just took it down. So where's the mosque blowing up? Well, it's in here. Is that it? No. But I believe that the people running the show, I believe that the people, look at that. That does look like iPad Go. I believe that the people running the show want everybody to believe that this is Bible prophecy, but and again, who wrote the Bible? You know what I mean? Who knows? But even if the Bible was the perfect word of God and it was all okay, doesn't mean that they're not going to take it. Even if it was 100% true prophecy, it doesn't mean that they're going to take it and try to simulate it. And I believe that's what they did with the you know what. I believe it was they wanted people to think it was the end. They wanted you to think that you're Mark. You know what I mean? They wanted people because then like I said, it's like the last 2 minutes of a game when you're 30 points behind in football. There's no way to win. So you just kind of give up, go through the motions. The Shoah. But if they believe that the Jewish people believe that the mosque is, well, let's just say it, they believe that, I don't think they ever really mentioned how it's going to happen, but that their third temple will be built using that Western Wall as the starting point to their third temple. But I don't know if anybody ever really explains how that mosque is gonna, because the mosque will have to go, right? Can't do both, and that is supposedly the spot where Abraham went to sacrifice Isaac. The interesting thing about that, we were just talking about that last night. Like, most people would think that's not God. If God tells you, when first God tells you that human sacrifice is abomination and all that stuff, and you know what, it's funny because we just talked about it last night, and then today I was listening to James Apperson. He had a guest on, and they were talking about the Bible and stuff. Anyway, he said, his guest brought up that story about Abraham being asked to go sacrifice his son. And you know what the funny thing they didn't bring up, but I always think is, they say your firstborn son. Hello, that was not his firstborn son. But anyway, so he's told to go sacrifice his son. You know what the guy today said about that? Funny, I just talked about last night. The guy today said, a better story would have been, he said, if I would have wrote the story, if somebody else could have wrote the story, I think a better story would have been if God, and I agree, if God said, Abraham, take your son Isaac and bring him up to the spot over there and sacrifice him. Now, a better story would have been if Abraham said, no, you're not God, and my God would never ask me to do this. And then God would have said, good, you passed the test. That was a test and you passed. I mean, and I think it would be a better story. Like if God told him to bring Isaac up there and sacrifice him, and Abraham would have said, no way, my God would never do that. And then God would have patted him on the head and said, good job. That was a test and you passed. But no, it's like having him go up there, right, almost going to kill him. Like, wow. Anyway, like I said, I just brought that story into question myself last night. Like, and somebody else, Ray, you just brought that story up. Like, what kind of a story is that? Anyway. So We went over 194 contradictions this week and last week, or whatever. It took 9 days to go through it, and that is just like scratching the surface. I know it seemed like a lot because it took 9 hours just to go through them, but that's just the beginning because there's so many more. I have a site that says 1,000 Bible contradictions. Now, actually, I've got a few. Actually, I don't know how to shut this thing off, so let me see here. All right. Where are we at? 1,000 clear contradictions and errors in the Bible. That's weird because they were calling Jesus his name P-B-U-H, like pub or buh or something like that. But anyway, here's a site which I can show you on the worldpress.com debate. If it'll pull up, give me a second. Oh, it did. Here. 1,000 clear contradictions and errors in the Bible. Most of the articles mentioned below were compiled and written by Christians, ex-priests, and scholars of the Bible. But here's 1,000. 1,000. 1,000 errors in the Bible. 1,000. You think 100 took a long time to go through 194? Huh. Anyway, 1,000 contradictions. They're in sections too. Anyway, this would take 6 months to go through it. So I don't know if you don't understand by now that, numerous contradictions in the Bible. According to most Christians, Jesus was God incarnate, fully man and fully God. Can the finite and the infinite be one? To be fully God means freedom from the infinite forms and from helplessness, and to be full man means the absence of divinity. Anyway, there's 1,000 right there. So, and you could look this up and go for years looking at these contradictions. So it's not like something I made up or some weird thing or not. No, this has been going on for many years. People have noticed. But if you bring up these flaws and these, if you bring up this stuff, people will get real offended. You know what I mean? Well, hey, Shalem, good to see you tonight. I hope you and your family are doing well, and I hope you're safe and all is good. How you doing tonight? Get over here so I can get in the chat. Good morning. Yeah, you've been good? Good. Well, good to see you this morning. It is Friday morning for Salim. You're just getting up, huh? How are you doing? I'm doing good. Thank you, Salim. I'm doing well. Thank you. Get along. Yes, it is Friday morning. Yeah. Anyway, good to see you. How much time we have? Till what? Till I sign off? Or till we all die in a blazing ball of fire? Because that's never going to happen. Well, probably to most of us. I don't believe we're near the end at all. I believe they're simulating the end. They want us to think it's the end. I don't think it's the end at all. It might be the end of an era, might be the end to a banking system. It might be an end to something like that, but it's not the end of the world. It's not a biblical end. They want you to think that. Need a little help? You need a little help? Anonymous. Slim says Grace. Yeah. Need a little help? Do I need a little help? Sure. Not really sure what you're asking, Salim. But sure, everybody can cash at me. Deep Dive Bible Study Cash app. I'm just kidding. But can anyone tell me about seminary school? Yeah, pretty much anybody can graduate from that. You know, you might get a pastor's job or something. I don't know. It's not really, they don't seem to learn a lot. I think seminary is more like they learn about different religions, and then when you get done, you like pick one. I'm not sure. Like I said, not that long ago, there was a guy on the radio, and I got a couple stray cats out there now. So there was a guy on the radio who was just the radio host, and he was going to do a marriage of people live on TV and Fox, of course. So he had to go online and get a pastor's license, and he did it real quick. And then he was able to marry the people, like be the official. One of my friends tell me about this. Can I join Bible seminary school in USA? Well, I'm sure you probably could. Anybody can get into Bible seminary school. Yeah, I don't really know anything about it, but you could probably. It's probably maybe. It's not like college or anything. I think it's just I think it's like a trade school. Probably wouldn't take long either. Maybe a year. I don't know. But yeah, if you came here, I don't know if they got that kind of school where you're there, but yeah, from what I've seen, anybody can pass it. It doesn't look very hard. Yeah, just look, because as a matter of fact, I'll just pull up real quick. Let me see. Let's pull it up. Seminary. Is it, you guys have seminary schools where you are? Seminary schools, well, it's saying near me. Christian top quality, strengthen your understanding of biblical knowledge, theology, and ministry application. When you get out, you'd probably be like probably like a student pastor, and then maybe eventually you'd be a pastor. I don't know. But just like I said, they seem to be doing it online. Look at Liberty University online, Christian ministry degrees. See that? That's what this guy did. He just went on real quick and got a degree so he could perform a marriage. But here's what we have around us in St. Paul. That's where I'm from, St. Paul, Minnesota. We have Bethel Seminary, Luther Seminary, St. John's School of Theology, Collegeville, Minnesota. Would you like to live in Collegeville, Minnesota? The St. Paul Seminary School of Divinity, St. Paul. We had a lot in St. Paul. United Theological Seminary. What does it mean to go to seminary school? Generally speaking, a seminary is a graduate school that offers Christians a distinctly theological education. This education marries understanding of God and His Word with real life skills so that students minister with excellence in the church community and the world. We are the world. How long are you in seminary school? At least 3 years. Look at that. Well, you can get a master's degree. Look at that. You can get a master's degree, but if you do that, you should probably get good money. Seminaries typically require at least 3 years of full-time study for a master's degree, while most Bible colleges offer bachelor level, associate level can be earned in 4 years or less. I was thinking it's more of associate's degree because that's why I got 2 associate's degree. Those are 2-year degrees. But bachelor level, that's pretty good. Are seminary degrees worth it? That is not how much they make, is it? What year extra? For associate pastor, 30 to 40 years of higher salaries. I don't know. What denominations have a seminary? Adventist, Baptist, Brethren, Christian Church, Christian Missionary, Church of Christ, Church of God, Episcopal. Can anyone go to seminary? Yeah. Oh, it says they're not for everybody. Let's see why not. The seminary degree isn't just for pastors of traditional churches. While many people still get a seminary degree because God has called on them to lead ministry efforts in traditional church environments, those opportunities simply aren't for everyone. And it is true. You can't expect to get out and run your own church. You're going to have to start out in like a student pastor kind of thing, you know what I mean? And maybe you pastor a church someday, but so does evil run the world or not? No, I don't think so. I don't believe Satan runs the world or evil runs the world. I believe that the world's there to choose good or evil. And if you choose evil, I think you get punished while you're here. And you choose good, I think you get rewarded. Although bad things do happen to good people, that's for sure. It's not just a book. That's for sure. But yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. I think if you're evil, you probably can make out a little financially better sometimes. I don't know. It just seems like the really most successful people I have seem to be a little bit evil. I don't know. And not all, of course, but I mean, I think there's a lot of people that are very well off that have slit people's throat to get what they have. Willing to throw anybody under the bus to get what they have. Oh, you're welcome, Slim. Yeah, just type in Google seminary schools, and it'll tell you, what you need to know. Oh, we're glad to have you here, Slim. I'm glad you're still thinking about your studies. That's good. I think you were doing some kind of studying already, but yeah, that's good. But you really don't need to become a pastor to make a difference. In fact, if you're a pastor, you're going to be limited on really what you can do and say, I think. If you want to keep your job. You're going to go by the script. And, you know, I learned really, really as a young person, very young, because at first I thought my pastor was going home and making up these sermons for next week. You know what I mean? And then one day, and I was really little still, looked at the back of, because as you walk into church, they would hand you what did they call it? A program. Isn't that interesting? They would call it a program because you're being programmed. But anyway, as you walk into church, they give you a program. You got a nice picture on the front. And then inside, it tells you the songs that they're going to start out with, and then the introduction, and then the sermon, then more music, collecting money, more music, goodbye stuff. And then if you'll turn around and look at the back of the page, it says that this whole program was printed out by Lutheran, some kind of Lutheran whatever. So he wasn't even making up none of those sermons. He wasn't making up none of it. It was going by a program, even right down to the songs that we're singing. All that was picked out by somebody way higher up and just handed to him. So he's not even picking out the songs each week. He's not picking out the sermon. He's not picking out the Bible verses. None of it. It's handed to him like a script. And if you ever went to church, there's things that they won't even, either they don't know or they can't tell you. Like there's a lot of stuff you can ask the pastor and they don't know. And if you've been older and then you go ask somebody, a pastor stuff, they'll get offended and they have like guards that will escort you. I got fruit flies in here from my potatoes. I got a bunch of veggies. I just threw a bunch out though because it was too much. But yeah, I'm getting fruit flies from all my veggies over here. But I'm about done with harvest time. It's getting cold out. And everything is done right now. Gardens have been done for a couple weeks. I just froze up a bunch of bell peppers. But I'm trying to keep some potatoes and grow eyes on them to replant because you can plant them in the winter. I just learned that. It was cute. I got that little baby kitten sitting right outside my door. They're puffy already. They got a lot of fur on them because it got cold weather coming. But they're hanging around with my cat. They're so cute. See if I can. Every time I go to show it to him, they take off. There's two of them hanging around with my cat. Those are the two babies. That one is mine. The black and white one's mine, but the other two are the babies. Those are wild ones. They're right up by my door. Those are babies. Those are only 3 or 4 months old. They're eating out of the dish right now. But anyway, look how puffy they are. They're cute. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. So Saturday we'll probably do tomorrow night is going to be the open chat. Friday night. Oh, and Bible trivia. Oh, it's kind of, the screen kind of messes up when I showed the screen, didn't it? Yeah, so tomorrow is just going to be open chat with Bible trivia because it's Friday night. Saturday, we're going to do the X-rated Bible verses. So, warning to anybody who clutches their pearls. They're going to be Bible verses. All right. I'm going to keep reminding people these are Bible verses. And then I'm going to do something Sunday, probably not a lot on Sunday. And then Monday, we're going to start the book of Revelation study. And I suppose that'll last a couple weeks, probably at least 2 weeks, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, anything anybody wanted to say or anything? Like I said, if you still think that there are no contradictions in the Bible and it's God's perfect word, I don't know what to tell you. There's 1,000, at least 1,000 contradictions. We just went up, by the way, that was 200 and it was only out of oh, speaking of the end of the world, I'm going to show you guys something. I'm going to show you how they have people out there, these agents. I know they are. Let me show you this guy. Let me show you a perfect example. The guy's clearly an agent. Definitely works for the government. And what is their job? These people's job is to convince you that it's the end of the world. It was like when I was like full-blown end times Christian, believe in everything. I thought there's no way these people are agents because they wouldn't be letting us all know it's the end of the world. Listen, if the powers that be thought it was the end, they would do everything to make it not be the end. They want us to think it's the end. Anyway, I'm going to show you this video. It's a perfect example, this channel. I got to find it, though, because it came up in my thing today, and I said, you got to be kidding me. I think it was early today. Hold on, give me a second. I'll show it to you. Perfect example of these agents out here that, and just think about it. How many are telling you that it's the end? And like me, I believed it. When I said it, I believed it. All right, a second. And these people probably believe it, but I think that there's a bunch that don't believe it. And I think the professional, here it is, right here. Aha! It's called Inspired. It's this guy. Let me show it to you. It's a channel called Inspired. And this is a perfect example of what I believe is an agent. Right here. We're experiencing the end of the world. And then he'll later say, as we know it. I don't know if any of you guys seen this cowboy guy, Mr. Cowboy. He's telling you, anybody know this guy? These people, he's got everybody convinced that it is the end of the world, but as long as we stay strong and don't give in, we might have a chance, but it is the end of the world. See? These people believe it. And he's trying to say, don't give in to the fear. And when somebody keeps telling you just don't be afraid, don't be afraid, don't be afraid, that is trying to make you be afraid, okay? Can you imagine if you're walking outside with your mom and it was dark out and you had to get to something outside and mom kept saying, don't be scared, don't be scared, don't be scared, don't be scared. It's going to scare the kid. Now, if you just went out there and got something in the dark and went back, nobody'd be scared. But if you keep telling somebody, don't be scared, don't be scared, that in their brain saying, yes, aha, I knew I should be scared. and now I have to suppress my fear. And even though they're telling me I have a legitimate reason to be yeah, they are afraid. They want you afraid because people don't make good decisions when you're scared. Yeah, so he's trying to tell you it's the end of the world. And they're like, yeah, it is the end of the world. Like, no, it isn't. They want you to think that. Think of all of the big channels like NYS TV. They want you to think it's past the end of the world. We're like in the next dimension, whatever. We're in the 1,000-year millennium, whatever. We're like past. But channels just like this, and he's got, so today, this was 11 hours ago, he's got 12,000 people have watched this. 12,000. This is a good example of I think is probably a government show. Making sure everybody believes that, yep, it's the end. You're right. Try not to be afraid, though, okay? Stay strong as we all die. But die with dignity, okay? Like, yeah. Okay. Don't be afraid, though, okay? Because if we stand up to these bad guys, you just never know. Could turn stuff around. But even if we do die, we're going to die happy and not fearful and stuff. Like, okay, you just convinced everybody that, yeah, we're going to die, but we're going to do it. We're not going to be afraid. We're going to die with no fear. Sure, they won and they got us. Yeah, they're afraid. They're all afraid, everybody. And they're trying to tell themselves it's okay that we're going to die. I mean, just imagine what a mind screw that is on everybody. To make everybody believe that not only are you going to die, but everybody you ever met, know, and love, or worked with, or neighbors, or family, every single person is going to die a horrible death. You'll probably be eating each other before too long. But don't be afraid, okay? We're going to do this the right way. We're going to go out in style. We're not even going to be afraid. Guys, don't be afraid, okay? Sure, they got us. They got us. But we can't show fear, okay? Because that will just make them even happier. And how many channels do this? Now, if all these tens of hundreds of thousands of people just like wake up and realize that they want you to think it's the end. And you know what? They could have never done it without the TV and the radio. Could have never done it without politics, religion, and sports, and whatever. Just the TV in general. They could have never pulled this off. Because if you're like me, where you don't have a TV or radio, I'm not bombarded with all these stories. And when I see them, I see right through them. But I ask people all the time, how are you better that for the last 8 years, you've seen every news story and I've seen none? How are you better off that you've been put through this roller coaster every day? Because I see people like, could you believe that guy that murdered his wife and he got away with it and blah, blah. And they're all mad about that. And the next thing they're mad because, Trump got stolen on the election. It's like, man, am I glad I'm not hooked up in that sick, twisted fantasy world. Like, you know what I know? I know that me and my dogs had a good day. It was nice out. We had a good dinner. And that's what matters to me, you know what I mean? My family, my friends. What's happening on across the other side of the world, it's really shouldn't be my responsibility to worry about, and shouldn't be yours either. If everybody just took care of people in arm's reach, it'd be a better world, that's for sure. Worrying what's happening, Ukraine and all this stuff. Okay, oh my goodness. And if you really check into this stuff, you just find out what a crock of crap it all is. Most of it's Hollywood productions, and like I said, if you didn't see Thirst for Truth's last video, you should, because, and he's got to be careful. We all have to be careful because they will shut you down and take your channel down. I mean, I just got 5 strikes in 3 days from videos from 3 years ago. And it says right on it when you get, so I get these strikes, but they say they're not going to apply it as a strike. It's just going to be, they're just going to take my video down. And it says, how do we know that your video was offensive or whatever? How do we know it violated the medical policies, terms, whatever? Well, it says right on there, these are reviewed by AI. It says right on it. It's reviewed by AI. So right now, as we speak, YouTube is going through all videos. I think they started in 2020. I think they started, I don't know, maybe a year ago, and they started going backwards. So right now they're in like 2020. They're reviewing every single, AI is reviewing every single video anybody ever did. And you don't get your channel taken down. They just remove it and give you a warning. And it says, we realize that you probably didn't know that this was violating our policies at the time. So we're not going to give you a strike, but we are removing your video. If you want to appeal it, click here and appeal it. And I'm not going to appeal anything. If they're not going to, I'm just glad, because my channel would have been gone a long time ago had these been applied as strikes. So I'm just grateful they're not taking my channel down. But dang, like 5 more in the last 3 days. So yeah, they're going, and they're all from 2020. Before we realized that we weren't supposed to say certain things. And I think I was still kind of being a little bit careful, but like we didn't know. But anyway, so that's what they're doing. AI right now is busy 24/7 going through everybody's video that ever made one, and they're just going back further and further in time, because they were 2021s, now they're 2020s. And it probably won't go past March of 2020, because that's when they declared the pandemic, and that's when they really started, and that's when all of us started saying things that are later now we're in trouble for. But so like I said, I'm glad that they're not removing my channel. So I'm not going to, like they said, I did not know it was offensive at the time. So I'm with them on that. And, so I'm not going to appeal any of it. But I've heard other people saying the same thing. They're getting their videos taken down. I mean, that's 3 years ago already. 2020. Yeah. 3 years they've gone back. AI, it says right on it, AI is doing it. And then like if you appeal it and say, no, I don't think this should have been, because they'll give you a link that your video is gone. They'll give you one link to watch it, and then you can see what you did wrong. They won't tell you what you done. But anyway, and then if you think that they made a mistake, then they have a human do it, then they review it. And then if you get a strike, then you're probably in trouble. So anyway, I'm not going to rock the boat. Like they said, I didn't know I was violating at the time. So anyway, so you might hear other people having that happen right now too. It's AI is going through it. And you can just imagine the millions and millions of videos that they are going through right now. And you know what the weird thing is? Always like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. It's always between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. You have to kidding me. Anyway, so when you wake up in the morning, you go to get on YouTube, there's, problem. There's a big pink slip. And like, what happened? Well, while you were sleeping, our artificial robots were going through your old videos. Like, and what? Well, we found some stuff we didn't like, and we removed your video. And I don't care. They can remove all my old videos. I mean, I'd rather pick which ones. I don't really care about my old videos because I don't think the same as I did 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I don't know how long I've been doing videos, since 2017, however long that is. So, yeah. Anyway, I would remove them myself if it was just a pain in the butt. Because I've got 5 years of StreamYard. And 5 years, StreamYard, you got to do them one at a time. You can't just like go like on YouTube and click all and then delete. It don't work like that. You got to click on the video. When you go on the video, then you got to go like this. First, you got to pull the video up. Then you got to put on edit video. Then you got to pull that up and you got to put it on private. And then you got to turn it up. So it is kind of a process to remove. I've got 2,300 right now that I haven't removed. I removed probably 500. They probably have removed 300 or 400. I don't even know. So, but I still have 2,300. It's just too much. But anyway, so it's not like a big deal to me that, they get removed here and there. I just don't want my whole channel taken down again because that sucked. I've had that happen. It's not fun. Anyway, so that's that. But no, I don't think evil runs the world. I think you can hop on the evil train and maybe make a few extra bucks. I do think like it's easier to make money if you don't follow. If you're dishonest, I think it's easier to make money. I could have made a lot more money had I been dishonest, a lot. But I just know how easy it is, and I've seen people rake me over the coals for money because they're not honest. You know what I mean? So I know for a fact I think you probably make a little more financially better if you're not honest, but to me, it's not worth it. Because I do believe God punishes, like you might make out on the money side, but then, I believe people get, like if you have some money-making campground scam for the Left Behind on YouTube, and you have this scam where you want $15,000 for a Left Behind campground for the Left Behind, but then you take that $15,000 or $20,000 and you pocket it and then flip everybody the bird. Yeah, I see. I think you got away with the $15,000 in your pocket, but I do believe that you would get something like diabetes and all these health problems. Actually, I just know somebody that just happened. Happened to know somebody who is now suffering from all kinds of diseases because probably for the way that they've ran their life. You know what I mean? I do believe that you get punished, either health problems, family problems, money problems, whatever. I believe it. So anyway. All right, guys, well, I'm going to wrap it up and get off of here. And tomorrow would just be Friday open chat as normal. We're going to have some Bible trivia, Jeopardy, whatever you want to call it. Saturday is going to be Clutch Your Pearls. Well, hey, John, good to see you tonight. I hope you had a wonderful day. Yep, shalom to you too. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, yeah, you agree? Yeah. And that's the God that I always knew from a child. I know that there's a God and he's always watching me. This is the God I knew before I ever read the Bible. For over 50 years of my life, I've believed, and I went to church and all that, but for over 50 years, I believe that there's a God who watches and he rewards good people and he punishes bad people. And yeah, I believe that for the short term, you can get away with things, but I think karma catches up. And I do believe in karma. And I know the real meaning of karma is that what you do in this life, you're going to get paid back in the next life. Like there's a lot of examples, but There's a lot of people who live their life like that because they don't want the karma in their next life. But I believe karma happens during this life. I mean, it might happen in the next life too. You might get paid back or punished or rewarded for something in this life. But I believe you get instant karma where you are, you're paid back not too long after you do something. Anyway, well, it was nice to see you tonight, John. Hope all is well. There's Christian scammers on Rumble that are so bad, they make MH look like a saint. That must be pretty bad, John. On Rumble, I'd never been on Rumble. Remember that guy? I did a video on a guy, and the guy got mad at me, and he like kind of threatened me. But anyway, I did a video on this guy years ago. And it was a guy that was taking $25. If you give him $25, you will be guaranteed a ticket to heaven. Remember that? I forgot the guy's name. And he looked, you guys, remember I showed you the before and after? Like in 1 year, he went from a normal looking person to somebody that looks like it's an exhumed corpse. You know what I mean? Like something you dug up. Like, you have a kid. How long has he been dead? No, he's alive. He's just scamming people. But I believe that scamming people, it was either 1 or 2 years. The guy was just like a corpse. Like, dang, look what he looked like just like a year or two ago. When he came on YouTube and like he was scamming people. Yeah, he was selling tickets to heaven for 20. If you gave him $25, you would be guaranteed your spot in heaven. Yeah, I did a video about him. He got so mad. Like, and I kind of maybe wondered if it's like a heroin addiction, because people on heroin, they kind of all look alike. Anyway, I don't know what he did with his money, but anyway, $25. If you give him $25, you're guaranteed a spot in heaven. Oh heck no, you're not gonna do that. But yeah, he went downhill fast. Like those mugshot photos. It's called Faces of Meth. People have methamphetamine, and like within a year or two, they look like a donut and just look like the same person. That's what he looked like. Like, dude, he's something tore him up, man, in like a year or two. Yeah, it looks like something you dug up out of a cemetery. Anyway, yeah, and you know what? The thing is, Christians are suckers, man, for scams. Because they feel like they got told like they gotta tithe. Which one was gonna open a cancer center? Oh yeah, Matthew Yeshua Watchdog. Yeah, he was the watchdog. Attack Watchdog, his name was Matthew Yeshua Attack Watchdog. He later became Pastor Joint 420. A pastor that was smoking weed. Anyway, but first he was Matthew Yeshua Attack Dog Ministry. So he said he was going to open a 2,000 bed cancer center free, and everybody's going to get treated with marijuana. Even the children. They're going to get treated with cancer with marijuana. But first he needed $1 billion or something. And it all starts with the single dollar, folks. So he was passing the hat for his billion dollar. I even did the math. I did a video on that. And I did the math. And I'm like, you guys, the biggest hospital there ever was I don't know where it was, but it wasn't that many beds at all. I mean, there's no such thing as any hospital with that many beds. Anyway, I guess he was shooting high. Since he was high as a kite, you might as well shoot for the stars. Yeah, he is going to do that. And yeah, but where are you going to get the doctors? Because you need doctors and staff to run this hospital. So, but yeah, and then he ended up just getting money. They actually gave him money for weed, actually. And then he moved to Colorado where weed was legal, and he just I don't know, did the backstroke over there in the weed, I guess. You know what the funny thing is, though? He's still kind of around. Not that long ago, I looked him up. Something made me think of him. What's his name? Matthew Yeshuva. He's another one that didn't like me. As a matter of fact, I got a strike on my channel from him for bullying. Like, you know what? I mean, wow. Because remember what he did to Amanda Saved by Grace? You talk about bullying. Yeah, I guess Pastor Joint 420. Kind of like pass the joint, except pastor. Kind of play on words. Pastor Joint. I don't know. Maybe he's laying low again. I don't know. You gotta see this. I'm looking for the guy's channel. The pastor uses marijuana to grow church. I'm playing words to grow church. Get it? And by the way, it is a part of the anointing oil. A pastor gets it right on alcohol and marijuana. Is marijuana okay for Christians? Where is it? Maybe he's just under Pastor Joint 420. He was Watchdog again for a little bit, and then he kind of disappeared. There he is. Oh, he's got to it. There. There he is. There he is. My first Nator sesh is Brahmin. Oh, he took down all his videos. Yeah, there he is. Pastor Joint 420. Yeah, he didn't like me. What is his problem? Remember he made up some lie? He made up a lie about me that, in fact, I still have that video, by the way, where he made up a lie about me. He's Professor Marijuana. He knows his stuff, guys. Let's smoke a snowy bowl. Yeah. Anyway, looks like he hasn't been around for a while, 4 or 5 years, but he does have a channel. He did have a channel called, I'm pretty sure he still has that somewhere. I just don't know where. Matthew Yeshuva Attack Dog Ministries. That's a weird name for a ministry. Attack Dog Ministries. Anyway, I just never heard of a ministry with attack dog in the name. Anyway, all right, guys, I'll wrap it up and get off here. Them cute little kittens outside. You know, I had a dream. One night I had a dream, like a week or two ago, that I was outside and all the wild kittens came up to me and let me pet them. That was weird. Didn't he pick on Minister Paul and then Minister Paul cry like, but yes, he did. Yeah. Well, he accused Minister Paul and Amanda Saved by Grace that he accused them of having an affair because he had the hots for Amanda Saved by Grace. And when she turned him down, he lashed out at her, and he also lashed out at Minister Paul. Accused them both of having an affair. He was another big hearty fanboy who accused you of being an ex-wife or ex-girlfriend out for revenge. Like all the yeah, he stood up for Mark and said, yeah, I'm an ex-wife or something, a scorn ex. Yeah, they kind of, you know what though? That's where Mark got his idea to suck money off the crowd, is from Pastor Joint 420. You know what I do notice, that Minister Paul is still on YouTube. Remember he left for a little bit because, I don't know, there's some kind of weird stuff going on. But anyway, he came back And you know what's really weird? He came back with white hair. Remember when yeah, he's still around. Remember, he also said we weren't going to be here in 3 months, and that was 5 years ago. But I forgot what I was going to say. Something about him. Yeah, he came back with white hair. That's what I was saying. So he left for a little bit, remember, Mr. Paul? People thought, and there was even people that were saying that they had visions of him in a FEMA camp. Remember that? There was people prophesying. Some lady said that they know he's in a FEMA camp being held against his will and all this stuff. And then he came back and said, no, I wasn't in a FEMA camp. I'm fine. But his hair was all white. You guys remember that? And the same happened with, what's his name? The one who swears his name was Jewish. Monty Judah. Same thing. The guy disappears. Nobody knows where he is. It comes back and his hair's pure white. Pure white. Like when Moses went up to the mountain and got 10 Commandments, he came back, he's all white. And people are like, that's how it was. I'm like, wow. Dude, what happened? That's 4 years ago, was it? I don't know. Yeah, one second. I think he still does his 1 John 2:15, of course. Rapture, dream, and word from the Lord. Is that him? No way, that's not him. Did he really lose all that weight? Is that him? I've not seen him for a few years. Huh. Is that him? I gotta see if it's him. Because I think he had somebody else running it, didn't he? I don't know. He was the first one I ever gave money to on YouTube. I sent him $300 because so he could fight Attack Dog. Is that him? No way. That's not him. It's somebody else. That's not him, is it? Do you guys know, is this him? No, that's somebody else. Oh, maybe this up here is Minister Paul. I don't know. I think he has somebody else doing his stuff now. I don't know. I think I remember that. But anyway, you guys, Rapture is going to be, what do you say? When's the Rapture? Gaza will be destroyed. Other countries will become involved. Oh, how? This is the final world. Yeah. Okay, well, everybody prepare to die. Okay? Prepare to die. Don't plant a tree or do anything for next year. It's too late. Just get ready to die. And a horrible death too, by the way. You'll either burn or starve or get your head chopped off or be brought into captivity. Something like that. Don't worry about it. Be strong. Don't be afraid. Yes, we're all going to die. Horrible deaths and your families, but that's okay. Be strong and don't worry about it. No, I'm done playing that game. That's not him? Okay, thanks. I didn't think so. You need to get used to the idea of dying. Yes, you must get used to the idea of dying. And just ponder about how you're going to die. Is it going to be starvation? Are you going to be brought into a FEMA camp? Well, how is it going to be? Remember, they had all those coffins and coffin liners. And the coffin liners held like 10 people apiece. So they're ready, you guys. Wait a minute. Wasn't that like 8 or 10 years ago? Well, yeah. Plastic doesn't last that long in the sun. Just saying. And why would they have them 8 years ago? Yeah. You know what they probably were? They're probably something, probably septic covers or something. Who knows? Anyway, yeah, everybody get used to dying. Be very used to it. And just dwell on it all day that you're going to die. And don't plan anything for the future. And whatever you do, don't get married and have children. Oh, heck no. But do remember to pay your taxes, okay? And go into captivity if they tell you to. Push and shove. You better get first in line because that's going to show how much faith you have. And then, but until then, go sit out in the pumpkin patch, okay? And wait for the great pumpkin. Stare up in the sky and wait for the great pumpkin, okay? Because he's coming. You heard Linus, or whoever that kid was, on Charlie Brown. Just get in the pumpkin patch and start staring at the sky and wait, because you have a hero coming. It's called the Great Pumpkin. Pick up that cross, follow Christ. Pick up your cross. Well, wait a minute. Jesus didn't pick up his cross. Some other guy had to cover. What about that story? They always tell everybody to pick up your cross, but then they say, well, Jesus couldn't carry his, and some other Simon of Cyrene or some other guy who's just passing through, he's got to carry the cross. He doesn't even know Jesus, and he had to carry his cross? How does that make any sense? Then Jesus is like begging not to go to the cross. Yeah, why do you keep dropping it? Stop dropping the cross, you cowards. Pick that cross up. There ain't no Simon of Cyrene gonna come help you. You gotta do it by yourself. Yeah, MH sounds like he's saying crepes. I think he's thinking about his crepes that he just had for breakfast. I don't think he's gonna last too much longer, John. I'm just saying, when your diabetes is so out of control and you're so out of shape that you can't even stand up and put your shelf together because you can't breathe, yeah, you might not have much time. It looks like he might be living in the car again. No, he just doesn't like going home. I think it's too much of a pigsty. Cynthia's trying to help him clean it because his pigsty is out of control. He's got nowhere to walk on the floor, so they're trying to. He was going to put together shelves, but he says he's too out of shape. So there's two able-bodied people that are going to put his shelf together for him and put stuff on it. Oh my goodness, those shelves take 10 minutes to put together? I know. Remember, he saw a video and watched all these directions how to do it, but I guess he still can't. He's got to have 2 people off of Craigslist come and do it. Wow. Yeah, I just think he hates being at home. I don't think he enjoys being around Cynthia unless she's buying him dinner. Yeah. I don't think he'll be around long. He's going to end up in the hospital. And he can't talk anymore. Your voice, it's all gravelly. It gets gravelly when the fat starts choking you and your diabetes is out of control. That's what your voice sounds like. Remember, I'm the one that told me he had diabetes. He ran to what did he do? The very next day, ran to the emergency room. And they told me, yeah, you have diabetes. She was right. So really, I saved his life. You know what I mean? I'm trying to give him a second chance. But yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be around much longer. The way he's not lasting too good. And he's going to push that stupid, he calls, we warned him for years, just like his doctor said, yep, I did. I even warned Cynthia. I said, Cynthia, you're overfeeding him and he's getting sick and you're going to kill him. If you don't stop overfeeding him and overwatering him, he's going to die. He's like a chicken. They can't control themselves. You have to put out a certain amount of limited food because he's going to eat it all. No matter how much you put out, he's going to eat it all. So you got to put out a certain amount. Otherwise, he just eats himself to death. And one day, just like I did with the chicken, go in there and he's going to be belly up, feet straight up in the air. Doc, kids is about ready to die. Yeah. And they all do that. They all eat themselves to death with his donations and free ride. I haven't seen him for a while. You know who else is really sick, and I don't know if he's even still around anymore. It was that Dave. Remember Dave? What they call him? Pastor Dave or Minister Dave? Or remember him? He ended up in the hospital. And they gave him Zachary. So he ends up in the hospital. He ended up with a staph infection, like in his heart or somewhere. Like somewhere is gonna kill him. In his blood, nasty staph infection. I mean, somebody didn't wash their hands. You know what I mean? And he almost died. I was shocked he even lived. Shocked. But anyway, I forgot about him. What's his name? Pastor Dave. They call him Pastor Dave, right? Zacher. Yeah, you're right. There it is. Yeah, is he still alive? Is that him? He's still around? Yeah, he is. He is still alive. He looks different though. Yeah, he almost died. You know who he looks like? Yes, who do you think he looks like? Who does he look like right here? He looks like Kenny for his cause. Doesn't he look like Kenny for his cause? I think they're morphing into each other, you guys. They're morphing into one big person. And you know what? These people are useful idiots because this is the propaganda that they're trying to sell the world about the babies being burned up and all that stuff. Come on, man. You're just watching the news and you're regurgitating it like they all do. It's like you're helping their cause. You guys, the babies. Like, can't see you're being played. Anyway, this is what you call useful idiots. These people repeat this. They repeat this stuff like it's truth, and that's exactly what they want you to do. Anyway, well, it looks better than he did before, so that's good. Anyway, yeah, he was a goner. And somehow he pulled through, so that's pretty good. Maybe, yeah, he looks like Kenny for his cause. Anyway. All right. So, Clutch Your Pearls Saturday. How about that? We're going to have Clutch Your Pearls Saturday. I'll be back. I don't know how to run this thing. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, I'll wrap it up. Get off of here. Yeah. Crazy. Yep. Doctors. And now imagine. And yet, at the same time, they tell you not to watch the news because it's fake. But they repeat the same stuff. Yes, they'll tell you not to watch the news because it's all fake and propaganda. But then they report you the news like it's all true. Okay. What happened to turning your TV off? You know what I mean? But without the TV, they got nothing to try to turn into the end times because you could have done this back in the 1970s. You could have turned the TV on and made a wonderful case why we're at the end of the world. You could have done it through the 80s. In fact, they did, remember? So you could take this at any time. You could hop in any time in history, hop in there and make a case that we're at the end of the world. Doesn't matter. 70s, 80s, 90s, 60s, 50s, 30s, 20s, 1850, 1420. Don't matter. But now with the TV and the easy way to propaganda, remember, the TV was invented as a military weapon for propaganda. So they'd put a soldier in a room with this box, and they would give it propaganda and brainwash or whatever, do whatever. That's how they invented the TV. It wasn't for movies and entertainment. No, it was a propaganda box for soldiers. And they'd say, hey, this works good on them. Let's use it on the public. And they all high-fived. They've been doing it ever since. Somehow they think watching the news on YouTube makes it. Yeah, if it's on if it's on Israeli news with Steve Bannon, because Steve Bannon, he's got all these contacts. Yeah, didn't you guys know that? That after he got out of the military. After he got out of the military, all the top, the bigwigs kept sending him the military secrets so he could tell you on YouTube. And that's how the military works? Yeah, it's not called treason or anything. It's just fine to do that. And somehow all these top brass in the military are still giving Steve Bannon their military secrets so he could tell everybody on YouTube. Yeah, that's what's happening. They tell you not to be of the world, but try to get you to sign up for Transact card. Please don't do it. I never heard of that. I never heard of a Transact or whatever. Yeah. You stay out of the world. Don't mind us if we're in the world, but you guys stay out. We'll make. Yeah, it's a scam. Is it like BitChute? Bitcoin. Is it like Bitcoin? Anyway, I don't know if anybody ever made money off of Bitcoin. Any money that you can hold in your hand. Yeah, I've never heard of that, but there's all kinds of new stuff coming along every day. And these are pretty much helping the to do away with our monetary system. What in the heck was that? I think my dog just got tangled up in a bundle of balloons. They're all tied together, and I think his foot got caught or something. All the balloons went. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, I will sign off and say thanks for coming in. Thank you for the thumbs up. I don't know if I've ever got 8 thumbs up before. There's a 9th. Thank you. Appreciate the thumbs up. Appreciate you guys being here. There you go. I just gave myself a 10. Thank you. But yeah, we'll be tomorrow. We'll just do an open chat. If anybody wants to come up and talk, come on up and talk. I'll put a link up for you if you want to come up and talk. Is he floating way up and away? I think so. You know what I was going to do? I was going to let those balloons go. And I was going to write a note on. My dad gave me a good idea. Write a note on it that it came from like Phoenix, Arizona. Put on one that it came from Mexico, and then let them go. You know what I mean? But I can't do that because it's against the law to let go aluminum balloons. The tinfoil balloons are against the law because what happens is they touch the power line and they explode and they can knock out the power. So you can let go latex balloons. Okay, if you're gonna let any balloons go with the message, it has to be latex. So I got this big bundle of balloons here. What am I going to do if I can't let them go, right? I was going to put fake messages on them that like this is from Mexico and all this, but I can't. Okay? Because if I videotape it, then I'm like breaking the law, and I'm videotaping me breaking the law. So I thought, okay, I think I'm going to break them open and then record certain things from my videos. I'll just suck the helium up. That doesn't hurt people, does it? Anyway, I could suck the helium up and say things for my videos. Do some recordings. In fact, I get one right now. Hold on a second. I got quite a few. Let's grab one of these bad boys, huh? Caleb, did you get caught up in the balloons? What happened? All right. Let's get one of these out. I got a bunch of them. Let's see if we can do this. Record it. All right, good night, John. Thanks for coming in. It was good seeing you. All right, let's see what we got. Yeah, I do have to record it. Good night. Wait, I ain't doing it. Test. Nope, it ain't doing it. This one's too low. Let me grab another one. Test. Nope. That one was too low. Let's get one of these big ones, huh? Get one of these big bad boys here. Let's see where to get this out. Bunch of them. All right. Get one of these off here. Here they are. Look at all these balloons. Oh, look at them all. Anyway, got a lot of balloons. Alright. Alright, we're gonna try one. I don't know if I can do that. Will that work? I think so. Shoot. Oh, that's gonna work. Alright. Uh-oh.
Test. Good night, John. Thanks for coming in tonight. I want to say good night to Grace. Good night to John. Good night to Anonymous. I want to say good night. Good night to Anonymous and good night to Dee. And I'd like to say good night to Grace. And anybody else that came in, I appreciated it. Just thank you so much.
Let me see if I was here.
And I also want to say good night to Salim. And anybody else that was watching, I just really appreciate it. And I just want to say good night to everybody. Salam and good night. Peace and blessings be with everybody. And I really appreciated all the time that I got to spend with you guys tonight. I super duper appreciated it. Thank you so much. Seriously. I love you guys. And take care of each other. Just love each other and care for each other. That's all I want. I want peace and harmony. Good night, everybody. Salam.